Okay, Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. We are from group number, what number?
6.
Okay, we are from group number 6. So we in material and building construction, ARC 3313. This is assignment group for question 3 and 4. Okay. Okay.
Farid,
Ketemu.
maybe
Yeah.
Farid.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just continue.
Okay. A curtain wall is defined as a thin material, usually aluminum frame wall, that is contain infill of glass, metal panels, or thin stone. The frame is attached to the building structure uh, at the front facade of the building, and it does not carry the floor or roof loads of the building, which is it stand alone by itself. The wind and gravity loads of the curtain wall are transferred to the building structure, typically at the floor line. Aluminium frame wall system date back at the date back to the 1930s and developed rapidly after the World War II, when the supply of aluminium became available for non-military use. Okay, in a curtain wall, we have two systems, which is in Alamanda Alamanda Shopping Center in Putrajaya is using a stick system. Okay, so the stick system that used at the Alamanda Shopping Center is a curtain walling system that consisting normally of extruded aluminium transformed that anchored to a slab or substructure, whereas the mullions known as sticks, which are cut to length in the factory prior to assembly on the site. Okay, for the question 3, with the aid of photos, explain the functions and characteristics of the curtain wall system of the choosing building. Okay, so for the function for curtain wall in Alamanda, number one is elimination water penetration. Is the main fundamental function of the facade is the penetration of water. It is not possible to bring in a completely impermeable seal curtain panel system here. Primary level where full water protection is performed, and where is a secondary level fields where a path must be given to allow percolated water to drain. And curtain walls can be made of glass, metal, or stone, and have a multitude of advantage when they are included in modern design these days. Okay, so for the number 2 function is a wind and acoustic resistance. Uh, when the finishes is placed at the facade of the building, that is the function to protect the building from wind and acoustic. The cladding system that transfer wind actions to the building floors, which act as linear support. Building cladding system made up of wide panels, typically extend one way. Therefore, each floor level support one wind load level on a building. There is also a need for acoustic insulation between the inner and outer surrounding, um, especially city-centered building. Massive structural element like masonry or concrete structure possess a higher acoustic insulation. And then the third one is air impermeability. This one is a more of an environmental issue to reduce carbon dioxide emissions due to the rate of heat loss and organ in both of the external and internal environment. Okay, next.
Raiman.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes,
Oh,
your turn.
okay. Aku bukan nombor 6 ah.
No. Oh, aku dulu kan? Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, okay, for the next is about the number 4 is thermal insulation, which is functional of thermal insulation, which is strictly necessary for a packet to reduce energy consumption and CO2 emission. Insulated materials are provided both in opaque and transparent regions. As another layer of material across the building, curtain walls are able to stabilize the temperature within and cut down on the operating cost of the building itself. Additional glazing can reduce UV light, which will keep in item within the building from fading or degrading quickly. And number 5 is reduce building sway. The purpose of curtain wall is not to provide structural stability, but it reduces the overall sway of the building, making the structure safer. The curtain wall is able to even out any stress on the building by dispersing kinetic force throughout the entire frame and structure. Overall, creates this creates a building that is more likely to withstand high wind. A reduction in building sway is especially useful in taller buildings and can also make the building more comfortable to inhabit. And you also can see the heat flow through glazing for the heat gain, light, and also the heat loss. Next.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amir Rahman. My metric number is 199188. So I will discuss or present about the characteristic of the curtain wall in Alamanda. So the first one is consists of vertical mullion curtain wall frames and glass panels which are mounted and attached piece by piece, which is the curtain wall is not come with a one system. It's come piece by piece, which is more pieces that attach to the mullion. And the second one is suspended in front of structural steel or concrete. So which is mean that like the curtain wall is like we paste at the frame, which is like we just glue it at the frame. So that's why it is called it suspended. So and why the third point is split vertical mullions are sometimes used in a larger areas of stick frame curtain wall to allow thermal movement, which can be slightly distort the anchors. So as this just little knowledge. So the anchors is a component that attach the system of curtain wall to the beam or to the wall of the building. So the important or the advantage of the Alamanda shopping mall using a bigger frame of mullion, so we can have a big what we call the big glass, the big surface area of the glass. So when we have a large surface area of the glass, so the thermal insulation or the thermal gain and heat loss will be also increased as it depend on how big the surface area of the glass. The bigger the surface area of the glass, the more heat loss and heat penetration. So the fourth point is vertical mullions that travel through two floors with combined gravity lateral anchor on one floor, which is wind load anchor, and second lateral anchor, dead load anchor. So as you know, that the curtain wall in Alamanda is at the main entrance. So the exposure of the curtain wall system to the wind wind to the wind will be higher. So that's why there's a wind load anchor, so it can penetrate the wind and reduce the sway of the curtain wall. And then the fifth point is the split vertical mullions are sometimes used in largest area of stick frame curtain wall to allow thermal movement can be slightly distort the anchor. So this point is quite similar to the point number 3. So we move to the picture to make it more clear. So as you can see to the picture on this slide, we can see that the surface area of the curtain wall is bigger. Why? Because it is located at the in front of the it's located at the main entrance of the shopping mall. So this curtain wall will be exposed to the direct sunlight. So that's why uh, the the Alamanda Shopping Mall Center use the biggest curtain wall to create a larger heat loss and penetrate the heat gain. So and also as we can see, the curtain wall here is suspended, which is like a paste from outside. Meanwhile, we don't know that there's a system inside the curtain wall itself. So that's all from me.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. So I will continue question for number 4, which is analyze the advantage and disadvantage, as well as the impact of curtain wall system on the design of the building and the environment of the building. Next slide. Okay. One of the advantage of using curtain wall at Alamanda is it can reduce building sway. The purpose of curtain wall is not to provide structural stability, but it also can reduce the overall sway of the house, making the structure safer through dispersing kinetic force across the entire frame and structure. The curtain wall can also exert some stress on the building. For the second advantage of using curtain wall at Alamanda is it also can slowing the spread of fire. It also curtain wall acting as a barrier and preventing the fire from transferring easily across the building surface. For the third one, curtain wall also acts as thermal efficiency. It can regulate the temperature in and reduce the building's own operating cost. Additional glazing can reduce UV light, thus keeping items within the building from quickly fading or degrading. For the fourth one, Nafisa will continue.
Okay, so the fourth one is